And so he threw me together with these Aussies who had never been on American television, had never done anything on American television. So we had Peter Brannon, Ian Ray. We had brought Gordon Elliott, that crazy big guy, and Gordon was one of our reporters. We had Steve Dunleavy, another Australian who works for the New York Post. We had these wild, crazy guys and just sent everybody all over the country looking for these crazy stories. We had, like, you know, the X-rated sheriff in Kansas who was fired because he and his wife were filming them, videotaping themselves making love one day, and he took the rental video camera back to the store.
Right. I remember that story now.
Left the tape in the camera.
Tape in it.
And it was all over town.
I remember that one.
The poor X-rated sheriff.
No one was getting stories like that.
No.
It had a very British tabloid feel to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, and no one was getting those stories. That's great. And, well, your show now.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
just wild.
I cannot get enough of it. You slay me on a daily basis. Maury, where do you find...
I make fun of this all the time.
I want to be respectful.
Are you the radio version of South Park? Did you ever see their spoof on me?
Oh, my God, it was fantastic, yeah. Oh, did they nail you.
You know, all the disfigured kids, which you have on, which is very legit. They did the whole satire on me and the disfigured kids.
I don't know where you get some of these people. Now, they're horrible combine accidents, or are they birth defects, whatever they are. They flock to you like the modern-day Jesus, and you put them on.
Right.
And I see a bit. I got to call you out. I see a little bit. Let's take a show where it's like, don't stare.
Right.
I'm just a person, or I'm what was the title of that show?
Yeah, don't stare. I'm as good as you are.
Right. I'm normal. I'm a person. And what you do, instead of having maybe a few hundred people at most look at them on the street walking and staring every day, you have millions staring at them on television. Now,
wait a minute.
It defeats the purpose of the title, Mark.
I'm just trying to turn America's mindset around, you know.
Is that it? Humanize them a little.
Trying to show the public that these kids should be treated like everybody else.
So when you see them on the street, now you've seen them humanized.
Right.
On
TV.
You won't be as mean or critical.
Exactly.
Well, then, God bless you, Maury Povich, because now I finally understand. I thought, silly, stupid me, I thought people were tuning in like it was P.T. Barnum pulling the curtain back.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Because, let me tell you something, Maury. When you put those little tiny children in your bookshelves...
The primordial dwarfs? Come on.
When you put the primordial
dwarfs...
our
favorite show ever.
And you had one hiding in your garbage can, Maury.
That's right.
I smelled a little exploitation.
There was one in my bookcase.
There was.
There was.
Where is she? She's in my drawer.
Oh, they're the cutest things in the world.
I bet they are, Maury.
You wouldn't bring one
in fact,
home with you, though.
We just taped one the other day.
Did you? How do you... You know something? I've been walking around this earth for quite some time. I've never seen a lot of things. I've never seen one of those. Where do you find them?
What country?
They just seem to find me.
He doesn't even want to say. He's got a source.
Of course, he's got a secret
source. He's got a little. It's like a hollow tree somewhere that only Maury knows.
Two people that are just drinking heavily all day, having sex.
No. What happens is you have one on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's a family who calls and says, "I have one who's never seen anyone who looks like my child. I want my child to meet someone who has to go through what he does." So we get them together.
And you got some set
them.
Because I see you hugging and kissing, and it's very nice and all, but a lot of people on this planet would go, yee, ooh, and not embrace
somehow
people.
That's not the case. It works.
And I know it really does. And I got to tell you, for how nasty and mean-spirited we are on this program, sometimes we tune in, and even we have to go, oh, my God.
I cannot believe,
sad.
Anthony, that you would ever have that feeling.
I feel sad sometimes. I look up and there's
Anthony,
a girl crying.
I didn't think there was that fiber in your body.
Neither did I. Maury has brought it out. I look and sometimes I well up a little bit and go, that's sweet. That poor kid, probably never out in public at all, and now Maury brings her out and gives her a kiss, and it's very sweet.
Maury, how did you survive? There were a lot of shows like yours on TV,
True.
and they all went away except you.
Well, I think what happened was, we got younger, strangely enough. First of all, you have to understand that talk show audiences during the day, for the most part, are older audiences. They're stay-at-home
Those
women
audiences are scary.
Yeah. And somehow
Really
we went, we have an average age under 40, which is unheard of. Most daytime audiences. And I think it's the themes.
Yeah.
The paternity is just
that's a big one.
unbelievable.
That's a big one. If you aren't parading around something that should be on the set of Mask, you are doing the paternity test.
Well, the funniest thing was,
I put that.
I know. I have all my golf buddies, see? So I have my golf buddies. One golf buddy says to me, he says, "You won't believe what happened." I said, "Why?" He says, "Well, I went over to the caddy shack. I like to hang around with the caddies, and they're watching your show in the caddy room." I said, "Yeah." He says, "This is what I hear. One caddy saying to the other, 'Anybody back home ever accuse you of being the father of their baby?' 'Oh, yeah.' They do? What do you do?" He says, "I tell them all the same thing." He says, "What do you tell them?" He says, "I tell them I ain't the father till Maury tells me I'm the father." I said, "I've arrived."
Now, you get some really distraught women when that happens. And I see them. They run backstage.
Oh, yeah.
And the camera follows them. And then here comes Maury to console them.
But how about
one of my faves?
But how about when they do it the fifth time?
Yeah.
When they brought back the fifth guy. And
so you just want to say sometimes, "You're a little slut."
If you want to push a button for a segment, all you have to do is she's accusing a guy of being the father of her child, and the guy has a new girlfriend.
Right.
And all you have to do is bring the new girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And the two women go nuts.
Now there's
and
some
the guy is in the middle saying nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And the women take over, and they claw each other.
Do you get more guys that are or aren't the father, have you noticed?
I'd say it's equal.
Equal?
Yeah, I'd say it's about equal. I've been surprised. The key for me is I never know.
You don't until it's
I
it's
never, ever know.
How accurate have you been? You got to make a guess in your head.
I'm about as accurate as I am on the show that we do with the beauty pageants, Are You a Man or a Woman?
Oh, yeah. Another great one.
I'm about as accurate as I am with them. I have no clue.
Have you made those mistakes, too?
Oh, my God.
Jimmy's had a few
Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Usually around, 1 or 2 in the morning?
Yeah, I've made a couple of
Set of your show in your Saturn.
Last girl at the bar? Oh, I know that.
Those are the shows you have to watch beginning to end. And the teases are great.
Yeah.
It's like, and now Stephanie comes out. Is Stephanie Geiger? We'll tell you after this. And you got to stick around.
And you know that the guys are better looking than the women. Right.
There have been times where I have watched and been fooled, yeah, and I pride myself on being able to pick them out.
And usually once during the show, they will have somebody who sings to me or entertains me. And now they're rubbing up, and I'm going, oh, God. What is going on? I just...
Doing something on your thigh, Maury?
Yeah.
Jimmy, you want to tell Maury what happened to you?
Yeah, tell me, Jim.
I was lonely.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I was out.
Jimmy could easily be on many of your shows, by the way, Maury.
I was out one time, and I saw a pretty girl, and she got in the car, and she was doing things for me.
In the car?
In the car.
Oh, you got to the car part.
Oh, yeah. We got way beyond that. We got into the here's the money and zip and park.
She's doing stuff.
Oh, he didn't go to a bar, Maury.
No.
Oh,
this
just
was
down the
a
street.
Streetwalker, yeah.
He drives around.
And I realized that she had a big back for a girl.
Because he's rubbing her back because of the way she's positioned to earn her keep.
And it was like a tight, like almost like a suit shirt. Like, you know those tight, sweaty back I could feel. And I just realized that was a guy.
You're in trouble.
Oh, jeez.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, I lost my rod. And
so,
it was fantastic up to that point. Believe me. Really world
well,
class.
it's better to recognize it then.
No, better to recognize it after. You don't get your money back. What am I going to accuse him of bait and switch? Oh, I'll sue you for false advertising, fella. They cut with a slash with a razor. I just had to leave and go home and pretend it never happened.